going to tackle another one of my prompts from my new prompt list, which you can find linked below. Welcome, this is Barbara from Vienna, Austria. Now, last time we worked on prompt number 28, and we made this page where I added a coin envelope and I decorated it, and I added a page inside that I wanted to hoard. It's this beautiful bird page, and I added some of your Happy Mail items here. So that was the first page. Just to explain again quickly, I'm not working in an actual journal. I am first making my pages, working on my pages, and at the very end I will bind everything together somehow in some kind of journal. I don't know yet what that will be, but this now gives me the complete freedom to do whatever I want without having to worry about bulk or size or anything else. So I thought today I would tackle prompt number 6. It's a writing prompt. And it says, do you enjoy spending time alone, or does it make you feel strange or lonely? I like to circle the prompts that I've done so that I know that I've done them. And in the end, I will put this prompt list into my journal somehow. But for now, I'm just keeping it like this. So I'm actually going to work on this page now. I wouldn't have to, but I have it here and I love these florals at the moment, I just want to do that. And to add my writing to this page, I thought I would stick it into like a kind of a tuck spot, which I thought I would make with some book pages. So I have this part of an old German book that I have used the cover, and I of course saved the pages. It has this beautiful old German script here. So I'm going to take out a page, and I'm going to make the most simplest pocket ever. But if you are really into pockets and tuck spots, for me, the queen of pockets is really Joey DeFee. And she again recently had a video where she's working on like an envelope journal folder, I think she calls it, and where she shows you how to fold pages, book pages, into pockets that either work for the right side or for the left side. So I'll just link her video below for you as well, because she always has great ideas, and I love that with her videos you don't have to worry about buying the newest supplies. So that is just really great. And I think I've shown you lately so much new supplies that I kind of feel guilty, because I know not everybody has the chance to buy all these things, and that's not really what junk journaling is about. So I'm also trying to change a little bit in that direction. So I have this piece here now, and now I just want to see how wide do I want my pocket to be, and I think this works well. I don't want to cover up all of the flowers, but I think this would be fine, and I don't need it to be this tall. So you just, I'm not going to give you measurements, because you just see what works for your journal pages. And I think I'm going to do it this high, and I'm tearing it rather than cutting it with my paper trimmer, because these book pages never, at least with my trimmer, they never trim well. They always tear. So I really like doing, I like tearing book pages with my ruler. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold in this corner, and I'm just going to see how would, I mean, it's nice to have it folded at a right angle, but you just have to see how far you want it folded in. I'm just gonna try mine like this, and I'm making sure that it's has a right angle here. Yep, and I think that will do. That is really the easiest pocket ever. And it's nice to not cut this off, but to fold it back and glue it down, because that just makes this edge a lot more sturdy when you keep putting things in and out. It looks nice when it's folded. So I'm going to glue this down now. And I'm using my art glitter glue. I have that linked below for you on Amazon as well. If you don't have it yet, you want to try it out. I am so in love with this. You just need a very little amount, and I still have to learn not to use too much. And it really goes a long way. But you use whatever glue you want. You can use tacky glue, you can use even a glue stick. So now I'm using my vintage photo to distress all around the edges. And before I glue it down, I'm going to think about how I want to decorate this, because maybe I will do something that will be easier before it's glued down. Like if I would want to sew something on here, for example, that would definitely be easier before I glue it down. I found this piece, which unfortunately is folded, but I'm not going to worry about that. And I really like this flower, and I think it would go really well on this pocket. So I'm going to try to actually tear this out, because I want it to have a nice rough edge. And if that doesn't work, I can still refer to fussy cutting. But first I will just try to tear this out. So that actually worked quite well. And now I'm also going to ink this up. And this will help it stand out a bit better. I like that, but I think it's too plain. It needs something else. So I thought I would use some washi tape, which I haven't done in a really long time, and I miss using them. So I thought I would use these two colors, which would work really well with the flowers I have here. So what I'm going to do is I will just tear off a piece of the green one. And this is an MT brand. I got this locally, but I'm sure MT should be fairly easy to find. So I will put that here. And then I'll take this one. I don't remember where I got this one from, but it's very cute. And I'll just add that there. And I think that really adds just the right touch. And now I'm thinking about my prompt that I'm going to be working on. So again, it says, do you enjoy spending time alone, or does it make you feel strange or lonely? So I'm trying to think of what kind of word or phrase maybe can I put here to connect the pocket to what I'm going to be writing about. So I thought maybe I could stamp the words me time with my clickable alphabet stamps. These are linked below for you as well. And I'm going to stamp that on a part of the book page that I tore off. So that will give it a similar color. Actually, this is even better because look, the edges are they're just colored a little bit, which is really nice. So I'm going to stamp me time. And I will just use the vintage photo for this. I like the brown. And now I will just tear that with my ruler again instead of cutting it. And I will ink the edges. So now let's see, where would I place that best? Don't want to cover my washi. I could put it like this. I think that would work nicely. So I'm just thinking whether I want to sew around the pocket because that would look really cute. Is it worth dragging out the sewing machine? All right, I will do it because that is something I always enjoy. It's worth the effort. Let's just do this. So I've stitched all around with a straight stitch, and I know you can barely see it because my sewing machine had white thread in it and I didn't want to change it. So what I'm thinking is maybe if I go over it with my vintage photo, maybe then it will be more visible. Or maybe that's just stupid. Yep, looks like that's just stupid. Because of course not only does the thread pick up the color, but the paper underneath even more. So yeah, that didn't work out. So now I'm gonna do it all around anyway, because otherwise it will look strange. So I'm gonna have fairly dark edges. That's okay. Yeah, that's totally fine. All right, and I have and then as you can probably see, I've already glued this down because I actually stitched over it a little bit. And now I just need to glue down the me time. I kind of feel like with these journal with me's, I'm going back to the basics, which is actually a really nice feeling. Away from all the fancy stuff, which I really enjoyed too, I have to admit. But this is really nice to just kind of work with what you have. And the pages turn out beautifully. So now I'm going to just put glue on these two edges. So I went digging through my Happy Mail stash again, and I found this filing card. I don't know what you call it, but it has a B for Barbara. So, and it has the perfect size to go in here. And I think also even this yellow, this pale yellow works really well. So I think that's what I will use. And I'm planning on writing in the back, and I of course need to decorate the front. And something else I found was I have this book page where I had a die cut of a butterfly, but I didn't throw it away because I think I can still use this. So I will first tear this down a little bit. This I'm definitely keeping. This is great for another collage. Okay, now it has a size that I can use. And I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit darker by using my Tea-Dye Distress Oxide with my new blending brush. Let's see if that works. Yeah, so this has, of course, a much softer touch than this one, because if I would use this one and go around, you would see some marks. But this is really nice and soft. I have been told this is very good for stenciling. I haven't actually tried that yet, but I could totally imagine that working really well. I tore it! No! Okay, no problem. We can fix this. We can totally fix this. I will first put this back together. It's fine. It's so normal for me for these things to happen all the time. And I really enjoy the challenge of figuring out a way to save projects. Okay, that was really easy. Now I actually don't like, let me just move this here. I actually don't like this on top of this now. So I will see if I can somehow collage underneath this. This will be my focal point, but I want to make this stand out a bit more. So I want to put some little darker papers underneath. So let's see what I can find. I have my big scrap box here. I mean, it mostly has neutral tones, so we'll see how that goes. I will glue everything down and then we'll see what that looks like and see if we need to add anything else. So this is with everything glued down, and you might be wondering about this word lost. This is, by the way, this is done with my copper gilding wax, which I've used a lot lately. You might know it if you've seen previous videos. But the word lost for me makes sense because without my me time, I do feel lost. So there is a connection there. And I actually really like this because this was from a book, from a floral book as well, and it talks about buttercups. So that is perfect. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, are these buttercups? Probably not, but they kind of look like buttercups to me. Good enough. And now I'm also going to ink around the edges here. And I thought, just to give the back a little bit more interest to write on, I do have this grid paper here, and I could just, oh, this side is better. I can just tear around that. That was completely crooked. It's all right. And I could just leave it like that. I will only, of course, ink the edges. And to connect the butterfly on the front with the back, I wanted to stamp a few little butterflies here as well. And to just make it a little bit more special, I'm actually going to emboss them. But stamping, of course, would be really nice as well. I don't want to take huge butterflies because then I wouldn't have any writing space. So this is one of my treasured stamp sets from Finnabair. You've seen this in the past. I love using this. This is one of two sets I got, and I believe I probably got it from Michael's in the States 2 years ago, so I don't know what it's called, unfortunately. So maybe you will still be able to find this somewhere. And it has 4 different butterflies on it, and I think I will use the tiniest one and then this one. Maybe I can do them in one. Yeah, I could just put them up like that. So using my embossing ink, make sure they are covered well. And then I'm using some gold embossing powder. Mine happens to be from Hero Arts. I don't even know where I got it from. I've had this forever. There, I'm just looking for a paper. What am I doing? I first need to stamp it. See, you can see I haven't done this in a while. So I will stamp that there. Oh, and that was not a good idea because one stamp is higher than the other. So I don't know if that small one is actually even going to be stamped well, but it looks, yeah, but there's no detail in this one. You can see it's probably just gonna be a blob. We will try this anyway. So now I'm gonna put my embossing powder over it. Yep, this is going to be a blob, but it's all right. Okay, now I'll just take my heat gun and melt it. I just love watching how it melts. It's like magic. Okay, so love it. Even this one is okay. You can still see the shape is a butterfly. All right, and now I'm actually going to journal about this prompt. And by the way, I'm usually not very particular about cleaning my stamps, but with embossing ink, I do try to clean them before I store them because I think the embossing ink will mess them up if you want to then use regular ink. Again, just a tip. So what I wrote here is, so first I wrote the prompt. So do you enjoy spending time alone or does it make you feel strange or lonely? And I wrote, I love spending time alone. For me, it has become a very important part of my life. I often feel stressed if there is too much going on around me. I'm especially sensitive to loud noises. I also need my alone time to gather and process my thoughts and feelings on my own so I can feel like myself again. Once I'm at peace with myself and the world around me, I'm full of energy, ready to take on the world. So there's page number 2 and our second prompt done. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hope you give these prompts a try. Love you guys.